Welcome to So You Think You Can Write, where we give serious writing critique without taking ourselves too seriously. My name is Lindsay, and with me here today is...
Sandra Udall.
Torsha Baker.
Brock Booher.
All right, the way the show works is we are going to pretend like we're agents and editors. Well, are you an editor?
I'm an editor.
She
doesn't
doesn't
have
have
to
to pretend, so
The rest of us are going to pretend.
the rest of us are going to pretend. And if we, you're reading,
Yes.
Torsha's going to read, and if we decide that we would stop reading and reject the manuscript, we'll get all buzzer happy, and that's what we'll do.
Okay. All right, this mission title is Her Mission. Protection was an illusion, a sleight of hand, a trick of the eye, a puff of smoke. Working as a coordinator for Norton came with risks, but we were the good guys, and our men crawled the world, keeping people safe, government safe. Agents and a corporation shielded me. I believed those I loved were under the same security umbrella. I was wrong. Shane was proof of my misguided notions. Pressure intensified, and 2 months of worry slit tiny wounds by the minute, leaving me desperate and paranoid.
Too much telling, not enough showing. I don't have a character I can follow yet. I mean, it's interesting. I'll probably keep reading, but it's just like, okay, I'm kind of, hey, look at the daisies. You know, it's just I don't have somebody I can follow along yet.
Okay. Where did I leave off? Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Long hours in the office, tirelessly working, creating operation after operation, placing men here and women there. Finally, everything was in place. I could only hope it wasn't too late.
Okay, I feel like it's too vague. There's a lot of, tirelessly working, creating, placing here and there. It's too vague. It doesn't. It's not
Right,
telling
placing
me
it
anything.
where and for why, right, I agree, I was about to buzz it,
Not
for the
telling
same
me
reason.
anything, yeah.
Okay. The hardwood door felt more solid under my knuckles than any other time I have knocked. Enter, President Hask called. Cool air and a mix of cologne and fast food wafted out when I went in. Sasha. He tipped his blonde head to me, but didn't ask me to sit. He never did. These meetings were meant to be quick, a no questions asked encounter. He leaned across his glass desk and handed me a thin file. Big bold letters marked confidential, signaled a level 5. The urge to shake my head surfaced. Why not stamp please read or steal on site instead? I guess it could be worse. It could say top secret. I quickly scanned the first paper. It was happening. My heart skipped once, only once. I allowed no more. I'm to aid Nicholas? I asked him with an even tone and straight face. He needs a woman to go in with him. All other female agents are otherwise occupied. I nodded. When do I start? Hask turned in his plush chair and stood immediately. Sir, I have 4 other cases, I said, only because if I didn't, I might seem too eager. Wrong, you only have 1. He jutted his sharp chin to the file. It's crucial you follow orders. Nothing takes precedence. I understand, but sir, I've never been in the field. His ice blue eyes blazed for a moment, and under the circumstances, his expression would have spiked fear, but relief was all that filled me. It will be a simple in-and-out job, he said. You've been trained, now get to work. He strode to his floor-to-ceiling window with his hands clasped behind his back and looked out to the Atlantic. Our meeting was over. I snapped the folder shut. Yes, sir. The once solid door felt light in my grasp. I clutched the mission to my chest and slipped into the near empty hall. Keeping my face impassive challenged me. I wanted to collapse to the floor in tears of joy, but instead I walked slowly and steady. I did it.
You didn't buzz it, Randy? What do you think?
I thought about buzzing it. I didn't have one to visually look at to double check. Does it actually identify the main character at any point?
There you go.
No, I don't think there was
It
any.
just says she's a woman about halfway through.
Right.
Well, we know her name.
Identified the
Okay,
president.
about halfway through, I wanted to buzz it because I don't think I know who the character is. And without any statement, I mean, definitely, you go through a whole first page, and we don't know who the main character is or anything about the main character, I don't want to continue reading because, well, the character is the vehicle that drives us through the story. If you were in my class, you would know that today, okay? And we don't know anything about that. So I don't think we know enough of particulars about the mission, and I get it, it's an initial briefing, but something, like are you gonna, topple an evil regime and prevent, a school bus full of orphans from being killed? Give us something that we care about. Because at this point, I don't have a mission that I care about. I don't know anything about the character so that I care whether the mission succeeds or not. And so I'm not driven to read on.
Yeah, I think the story actually starts, you cut the first 2 paragraphs. The first sentence should be, the hardwood door felt more solid under my knuckles than any other time I had knocked. That's actually a pretty good first sentence. It leads us into action. She walks into the president's office, they have their conversation. Yeah, I agree with some of the other details you could add, but if you cut those first 2 paragraphs out, it actually starts to move forward from that point forward. The other two paragraphs just kind of like, you skim. Okay, start here. So that's what I thought.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I don't think the first line in and of itself is bad. Protection was an illusion,
Right.
a sleight of hand, but that's not carried through. If they went straight from that to tell me what the danger was, or tell us what the threats were, but they don't. They skip right over that with some telling, and then her assignment. And even the assignment kind of sounds like there's no one else to ask, so we're going to give it to you. And I want to know more, like why. I would like to know why her. Like, give us something about her that we can root for, and
Other than she's a woman.
she's a woman, and she's the only woman that doesn't have an assignment.
Yeah, which apparently she does, because she says she has 4 other cases.
Well, she's a slacker. She really needs to get with the program.
But see, that adds to the mystery. Okay, she's got 4 other cases. He's pulling off of those cases. Why is she? Okay, maybe they don't discuss it, but I'm okay with following this character and learning that as we go, because now I'm moving somewhere with it, whereas the first couple paragraphs I wasn't moving.
Well, and he could have answered a different answer too. Why, that whole why me question could have been answered in a way that pulls us in even more and gives us more characterization.
Right.
Yeah. So I agree with everything that you guys just said. The other thing that I kind of want to add, is that at the very end, she says, "I did it," and it's like, oh, she accomplished this goal, and yet we never knew throughout this entire scene that she even had a goal. In fact, when I first was reading this scene, I'm going, she doesn't want to be here. When she's talking about that hardwood door feeling, solid, and more than any other times, and I almost felt like more she was apprehensive about this entire meeting, and then she's like, "I did it," and you're going, wait, you wanted this? Oh, okay. So I would like to see a clear goal, straight forth from this, and so that we understand a little bit more of what's going on. I just felt a little bit confused with where she was at, and a lot of that has to do with internal thought too. We really don't have much internal thought, in which case, like you're saying about the character.
Yeah.
I don't know who this character is, other than she's a woman and she works hard, obviously. And then at the very end, I'm going, oh, she wants this job. Why does she want this job? So.
Maybe the first couple paragraphs were the author's way of trying to tell us she was manipulating things so that she could be in this position, but it's not clear. Maybe that's
it didn't pull
Yeah.
strong enough for me.
Yeah.
I agreed with you that I felt like the first 2 chapters paragraphs should go, not the first 2 chapters.
That's a good point about the "I did it" at the end, because I feel like she's been acted upon through most of this first page, and then for her to say "I did it" felt really abrupt. Like, wait, what did you do? You were just acted upon, not acting.
Right.
Right, it's very important for the hero to be driving the story forward, not to be driven forward by the events.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I will say, she did really good with using a short sentence, create emphasis, and "I did it" is just 1 paragraph long. If anybody took my class, you will know that she executed that well, that tool at least, for bringing emphasis to it. But
And the writing is not bad either. As far
it's
as
good.
she doesn't have adverbs in her taglines. It's clean. It's good writing. But yeah, there's some things that could be worked on.
Yeah, I agree. Should we vote?
Yeah.
Let's vote.
All right, I'll start. So I'm going to give it a set. I think there's a lot of good things in this. The premise sounds good. I like the fact that there's some high stakes in this, some mystery, suspense. So I think it's got a lot of potential. I just think you need to clean it up and change a few things. So I'm going to vote set.
Okay, I agree. I feel set as well because it's well written. You could see that this is not, the first bit of writing for this author, that they've done some writing before. We need to make sure that we get a real good sense of your character and who she is, what her goals are, and you could do that through some internal thought and start more where the story starts, and we don't need that little bit of it. I don't know what we call that because it's not really backstories. I mean, I guess it's
exposition.
Exposition. Thank you. Okay. Sandra.
I want to say right between right and set. Can I do that?
No.
Okay.
You can because you're a
Janette
guest.
tries to
Otherwise,
do
we
that,
kick you
but
off the
we
show.
We've done that before.
Right and a half. Then I will say set because it is good writing. There's a lot of good things about it as far as construction. But yeah, let's have a really clear goal, a really clear idea of what the story is, where the stakes are, and give us somebody we can really cheer for, and you'll be on your way.
All right, I'm going to be the villain, and I'm going to give it a right. For pretty much for the reason I know it's getting buzz. I don't know who this character is. Why is this government agent / spy story different from the other ones? Why do I care? What's going to make this romp through, espionage really enjoyable? I have no clue about any of those answers. And on the first page, I want to know that. I don't have a feel for the character voice. I mean, it is very smooth. I agree. Very nicely written, very smooth, but I don't have enough character to care about the story moving forward. And for me, that's a fail because a lot of readers are going to stop. They're going to like, yeah, whatever, They might get to the end of chapter 1, and if they don't love this character, they may not read chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, there we go.
Oh, now you've convinced me. Now I want to go back to.
No, you can't.
Right.
You can't.
Can't change your vote.
Sorry.
No, anyway.
Sorry.
Hey, we ought to mention we have a live studio audience today. If we want to hear from the live studio audience.
That doesn't sound live. Sound live.
The problem is, Randy, they're afraid that one of them is going to be
I'm gonna
next.
buzz them.
So it's like, I'm not clapping for you guys. You just slaughtered this person. Anyway.
All right, so do you think we got it right? If you did, please leave a comment. If you think we got it wrong, leave a comment. If, whatever you might have in mind. You want to find out how you can be on in the audience for one of our live things, well, you just got to go to one of the events we're at.
And subscribe. Don't
And
forget to subscribe.
There we go. All right, until next time, get ready.
Get set.
Right.